Guys, let me give you a quick, easy brain hack. When 99% of people feel low, they attach that sensation to being unhappy. But feeling low is not being unhappy. Feeling low is you have a bad mood in that moment. Now, if you were to be unhappy, to change from unhappy to happy, you need to do a lot of things. Happiness for me is the triple S: serenity, satisfaction, and security. I'll expand that in another video. But you need to do a lot of work to become a happy person. Now, from low mood to high mood, you only need to think of a positive thing you have or you do or whatever, right? And your mood automatically changes, you know? It's easier to change your mood than it is to go from an unhappy person to a happy person. You're not unhappy. You're just in a bad mood. It's easy to change that. And when we talk about self-improvement, self-satisfaction, self-realization, self-whatever, right? We always figure out that we need to change the development, self-development with the development, the realization, the improvement. But we forget about the big factor of the equation, which is self. Now, when you understand that everything comes with you and goes with you, then you start to work on yourself. Then the development comes along, the realization comes along, whatever after the self comes along, you know, you just attract it because you are strong by yourself. Now, what you need to focus in yourself. That's when the true game begins. You're not going to obtain things by just working on external factors or what can make you develop. It's in you, man. You got to understand that. It's not on you, it's in you. And what's in you, they cannot take away. Now, it's important that when you're developing yourself, when you develop a self-relationship, you got to understand that there's two parts of you, man. Your low self and your higher self. Your ego and your consciousness. You got to shut down your ego, man. He always wants more, and he always wants things for himself. But that's not going to end well, you know, never. Because you are pleasure-driven by your ego and you are self-interested by your ego. He only wants things for himself and fuck the world. That's not how it goes, man. For real. Pleasure-driven, I mean, yeah, it's cool for the moment, but you're always going to need more and more of that. And more of that thing, you know? Like, come on, man. It's a non-stopping bullshit thing you're chasing, you know? So I think the key to this is actually having a good mindset and knowing where your ego is taking part of it and where your consciousness is taking part of it. And when you're having high thoughts, act on it, you know? Don't act on your ego, but when you have high thoughts, which should be all the time, then take action, because at the end of the day, them results are going to be beneficial as opposed to just detrimental, for real. So, yeah, make a good relationship with yourself, with your higher self. That's your true self. The other one is never going to disappear, or it could, but shut him down like, yeah, whatever you're talking, man, I don't give a fuck. Or use him as a guide to know what not to do, you know? Like, at the end of the day, the ego is needed for a human being, you know? It's a good thing. But we have turned it in a bad thing because we get possessed by it. Now, that's game. Now, if you are a man watching this and talking about the ego, we as men, our mission or as our purpose in general is to be providers, right? How can you be a provider if you put in yourself first? How can you be a provider if you put in your ego first? How you can be a provider if you are developing decisions and options through your ego? Nah, that person has to come first or in your level. You cannot put yourself first. Nah, you are a leader, man. You gotta lead the people to a high quality reality, you know? You cannot be all for yourself or fuck them and give me what's best of the cake. Nah, we all a community, a family. We're gonna eat, you know? You're not gonna be a hypocrite to be like that to people, but then you treat your son good, or you treat your father good, or your brother in family. But then you treat this person like a shit. Nah, we all brothers and sisters, man. For real. I mean, my family is my family, but the external world and the people that live in this world is also my family. I shouldn't be looking at them like they're less than me, or, you know what I'm saying? The only thing that divides my family from them is that I spend more time with them. I know them better. But if I get to know these people better, they may be a better person than my family, straight like that. Or maybe I get more connection with them, you know? Now, I, of course, gonna treat my family in a higher position because they have given me attention, they have given me food, they have given me, you know, it's logical. But at the same time, I'm not gonna shit on this person because he hasn't given the opportunity to give me time. Now, I'm gonna give this person the same treatment as I give my family so he can get to know me and I can get to know him. That's the power of living in a community, you know? Open yourself for and give them a version you give to your family to them, so you can treat them like family and they can treat you like a brother. But if you don't give them that, you're not going to get that. Simple. Now, how can you give the world transparency if you are ashamed of yourself or feel guilty of your actions? See, I had to change. 3-4 years ago, or even 2 years ago, I wouldn't be talking to you. I wouldn't be this thoughtful. I wouldn't be treating people good. Why? Because I was treating myself bad. How can you treat people good if you treat yourself bad? It all goes back to yourself, like I said before. You need to treat yourself good. So in order to make a positive impact in the world, how can you make a positive impact in your world if you're having negative thoughts, negative acts about yourself? Whatever you do to yourself reflects in an external world. Now, it's time to self-love, self-reflect, self-meditate with self. It all starts in you. You are the change. Be the change.